Hello everybody and welcome to episode 22 of my Guild Wars 2 series. Today we are diving back into the personal story and are going to begin chapter 2 of the Norn personal story. The first part of which is to meet Dragon at her Holbrack homestead. So let's go ahead and leave Snowden Drifts where we were doing some map completion here last episode and head back to the Norn capital city here in Holbrack. And here we are at Dragon's homestead. We have Garm here playing with a wolf pup. This wolf pup is so adorable, and the fact that Garm is playing with that pup is also adorable. But let's go ahead and head inside the homestead here, and you have
Dragon. Once more, Wolf calls on you to protect his pack.
I heed Wolf's call, and I'm glad that I will have company. Ah, there's the Slayer now.
And we have the wolf shaman here.
Trouble is brewing, and Fastolf the wolf shaman has summoned the two of us to deal with it.
Wolf sent me a dark vision. My friend Krennic's homestead was burning and besieged by ice creatures. I saw you there with air, fighting them off. It's a clear sign.
Of course I'll help your friend. If the pack needs an alpha, I'm ready.
Wolf's vision hints that you two are meant to walk a greater path. I can see that his wisdom and cunning live in both of you.
Wolf knows I would never turn my back on a friend like Krennic. I'll meet you at his homestead and we'll deal with any trouble together.
So it looks like there is trouble at Krennic's homestead in Wayfarer Foothills. So let's go ahead and now leave Holbrack and we can head out into the open road and head to Krennic's homestead. Really quickly while we are here, I just noticed that the world boss here, the Swanir Shaman Chief, is actually going on, and my game is lagging today for some reason a little bit, so this might be a little bit of a lag fest, because this world boss is known for being very laggy actually. And also really interesting is that this world boss actually got updated really recently, by recently like when we started this Let's Play series a few months ago now it feels like. Where this road boss is now much more engaging and there's a lot more going on and we kind of have to dodge more things, where back in the day we kind of just sat there in a giant pile and basically just DPS down. And this is a really easy road boss and it's still basically that. It's like a road boss in the starting area, but nowadays it is definitely more challenging than it used to be. So we participated in part of the event chain a couple of episodes ago when we were here previously, where we were basically helping a fellow Norn here deal with the Grawl tribes around here and how they are worshipping Jormag, the Ice Dragon. And we discovered that there is a totem there, which we can see Scholar Brogan, our Norn friend, and the totem is broken. And the event ended there where we basically stopped Jormag's influence upon the Grawl. But every now and then the event chain leads into an even longer chain where there's a few more events where we basically deal with some Sons of Swanir, and then we have this one who just transformed into a giant ice behemoth we saw right there. Is actually trying to conjure or summon an ice elemental. And our job here is to break the Son of Swanir's connection with the ice elemental so that this ice elemental doesn't cause devastation upon the Norn here in this area of the world. So we have a giant telegraph there. Let's go ahead and get out of its way because it's charging. And we can go ahead and work with our allies here. We have a ton of people who just met up right here, and we can deal with this threat. And after a pretty lengthy battle, we have been able to bring the Swanir Shaman Chief down to 2% health, and pretty soon we will be able to have defeated him. 1% health, just a few more hits left. And he is now defeated, and we got an achievement for defeating him. And we can come over here.
Son of Swanir defeated, the elemental lost its traction in our world, as I predicted, and Jormag's hold on the Grawl is shattered. This triumph must be documented. First, a fine ale.
Let's go ahead and loot our chest, and then we have a couple bouncy chests with some extra rewards in our bottom right corner here. And then really quickly, I want to see if this is actually fixed or not. Let's go ahead and pick up a piece of tattered armor, and then we can run over to Ranny over here, and we can turn in this piece of armor. And let's pay close attention to our progress bar on the right side of the screen here for this event, where it's approximately at like, I don't know, what is that, 8% complete. Let's go ahead and put this in, and we put in 1 and it just barely moved over. So you can kind of do like the visual math there of how many times that moved over, how many times you'd have to bring in some tattered armor. Just kind of an interesting interaction between two events here that you don't see too often around the world, so it's kind of fun here, but also annoying if you're trying to complete that event. But let's go ahead and head into our story instance here and help defend Krennic's homestead from the minions of Jormag. Let's go ahead and have a chat with Krennic the Short, see what's going on around here.
Spirits of the... It's Erstigalkin and the Slayer of Isomir. What brings you out here?
Krennic, old friend, your lodge is looking magnificent. Tell me, have you seen any trouble lately? Omens of bad fortune to come?
Dredger making noise, but that's nothing serious. There is Varg, though. He was here recently boasting about his strength with the Sons of Svanir. He does seem changed. In fact, it looks as if you're just in time for one of his visits, spirits blight him. Leave this to me, friends. I've dealt with Varg before.
I have a feeling that this interaction is not going to be normal.
What are you doing, Varg? I told you, you aren't welcome on my land. I go where I wish. You think you can banish me, a proud son of Svanir, from your stupid tavern? In Jormag's name, you'll die for that arrogance. This horn is the roar of the Ice Dragon. Hear it and cower, for it signals your death.
Those are
What
ice
by all
imps.
that is
Watch
sacred are
yourself. They
those
spit ice.
Men, to arms! Cut them down!
So we saw Varg there just blew into some sort of horn and summoned a ton of ice elementals and ice imps here. So let's go ahead and deal with them. It looks like Varg is running away there, so maybe we'll be able to follow him, but that might be for a further mission. Let's go ahead and make sure that we can ensure the safety and security of the people here, but two of them just died as I was saying that. So probably not the best we could have
Stay
done.
together and force them to come to us.
It looks like Krennic is back up. Let's go ahead and deal with these newfound ice elementals that came down here. Can leap in, deal a ton of damage, reset our ton of damage with that ability actually, and then do it again. I keep mixing up my 4 and my 5. My 5 is the one that resets the maw attack. My 4 is a nice counter attack ability that I want to use to block an enemy's attack. Let's go ahead and get an update with Erstigalkin here and see what is going on around here.
I've never seen ice imps this close to Holbreck. Varg's horn must have powerful magic to have summoned them.
That's not his horn. It was passed down to me through my family from my ancestor, Romke.
His boldness as an explorer is legendary. But why does Varg have your family heirloom?
I wagered it at the moot in a dice game with Varg. He cheated, but I didn't catch on until after he'd left. I had no idea that it was a magic horn. According to the family stories, Romke got it as a gift from a clan of bear people.
That must be the Kodan. They have an enclave near Hunter's Lake. Meet me there and I'll introduce you. We can find out if they know any more about the horn.
Let's go ahead and pick up our reward here. We have a new ring. We also have a 12-slot bag that we can equip, which is very nice. Go ahead and equip that. So it looks like Varg has our ancestor's horn that was passed down to us from Romke, who is a legendary Norn adventurer, and now he has it. And apparently it is a magical horn that is able to channel the power of the Elder Dragon Jormag somehow. And our ancestor Romke collected it from a clan of bear people, which we know as the Kodan, which we met a little bit last episode ago. Let's go ahead and go to Snowden Drifts, where there are a ton of Kodan here, and we can head to where Romke said that we could meet some. We have Erstigalkin here, and we have a Kodan named Followed by Night. Let's go ahead and have a chat with this wondrous person.
Koda's blessing.
Honored Kodan, I come to see if you will hear the plea of a descendant of Romke. Do you know that name?
Yes. Romke is well known in our tales as a strange but honorable southerner. If you brought me one of his line, I'll listen.
I promise that you want to hear this. My ancestor carried a horn given to him by the Kodan. It was passed down to me. It was stolen from me before I knew of its magical power. Now, I need to find the horn before there are dire consequences.
Your ancestor was wise in many ways and a trusted ally of the Kodan. But you? I do not know you yet, other than your tale of loss. So, in Koda's name, prove yourself to me. The dredge to the south ravage the land. Their mine director calls himself the Overminer. Kill him and bring me proof of his death. In return, I will tell you all I know of the horn resounding.
A worthwhile cause. The dredge plague both our races. I'll handle this Overminer, and we'll talk again.
So the Kodan are an absolutely brilliant race, and they are a fan favorite race of many people in the Guild Wars 2 community, and are actually a really called upon race to eventually become a playable race at some point in the future of Guild Wars 2. The Kodan are very kind of knowledge based and like intellect based and like spiritual based individuals, which we will slowly learn more about that aspect of them in the future. But a very important aspect of that has to do with the concept of balance, where nature is balance, and it is important that we are able to maintain balance. So in a way, they are kind of like environmentalists, but it's more beyond just kind of like preserving the environment. It's more in letting the environment kind of like happen and let what is intended from nature to happen. So while a lot of people who might care about like the environment, and maybe like different races in Terraria that cares a lot about the environment, where you don't want to necessarily kill a bunch of wildlife, the Kodan kind of see that wildlife do have to perish in order for balance to occur, and it is important for that balance to occur because that is the natural order of things, and that is how everything has happened, and is how it will continue to happen for the rest of history. So let's go ahead and clear out the dredge in here, who are kind of undermining the balance of nature by mining. And we can find the overminer here somewhere in this cavern, maybe over here, and we can take care of him, and we can try to find out more information about our ancestor's horn.
Invaders! Kill them, comrades!
Let's go ahead and deal with him. We can get some nice good attacks on him, get our flame trap down. He has a ton of vulnerability because we give him 10 vulnerability by hitting him with maw twice, and then we can deal a ton of damage to him. And now let's chat with Air.
A fine battle. You fought with such skill, such precision. The dredge were no match for you.
For us, you mean? 2 heroes are better than 1.
Of course. These challenges will prepare you well for taking up the mantle of leadership. Now grab the weapon. Followed by Night owes us a story.
Let's take the Overminer's boomstick, and then let's go ahead and head back to Followed by Night. It looks like there's a ton of dredge here that want to kind of intercept us here. So let's go ahead and use our attacks here. We have a shoot ability and a sonic blast ability, which dazes them, and then a bash ability. So a very interesting part of the dredge, if I have not mentioned it already, is that all dredge are actually blind. They're moles, kind of like the equivalent of real life moles, but put into Guild Wars 2 in a fantasy world and turned into like humanoids, where they cannot see, but they rely on kind of like echolocation or like sonic noise in order to traverse the areas around them and to be able to mine and fight people and all of that stuff. So we see sort of noise-based abilities are a very common trend amongst the dredge. Here is Followed by Night. Let's go ahead and see if they'll tell us a story now.
At last, the Overminer will no longer tear out the heart of the land. You have satisfied Koda, and I will aid. I have sensed a recent disruption in the balance of the land. I imagine it is this son of Svanir you mention, this Varg. When he summons creatures with the horn, only more imbalance results. I have witnessed many active sons of Svanir in Drakentelt. The disruption seems centered there.
Drakentelt is a short jaunt south of here. If Varg is there with my horn, it should be simple enough to take it back.
I will find you there and lend you Koda's strength. My people created this horn. We will help you find it.
Yes, the Slayer and I started this together, and we'll finish it that way. But we also wish to know more about the Kodan people, and we welcome your presence.
So we have completed this story step. Let's go ahead and pick our reward here. We can actually pick a short bow. I'm going to go ahead and pick this Shiver Peak short bow, Adventure short bow. We also leveled up to level 25 so we can get our little bit of reward there. Let's go ahead and equip our short bow, and we can kind of experience what it's like to use this weapon in our next story mission. Which for our next story mission, let's go ahead and head to it, which is just due south of here, to an area that we have not explored yet in this map. So let's take a moment and kind of explore it a little bit, and then head into our story mission. So there are a ton of different locations in Snowden Drifts. There's a lot of stuff going on in this map. Let's go ahead and scout the area ahead of us out a little bit, and we can see that there's a point of interest right here that we can get, which is a Son of Svanir camp here, Drakentelt. And then I noticed that there is a vista up here that we can go ahead and grab as well. And I believe there's a waypoint right here, and this waypoint is in a relatively important area of the road, but we'll go ahead and explore it probably next episode. But I'll just go ahead and collect this waypoint now, and we can take a look at this vista as well while we're right here. So here's the area that we are about to attack. Let's go ahead and head back down here and we can enter our story mission and see what exactly is going on here. We have Erstagaken and followed by Night here, and let's go ahead and see what the Sons of Svanir are doing.
Yes, the imbalance is stronger here. I can sense the horn casting a dark shadow.
Varg used the horn to summon ice imps. If he found a way to infuse the horn with Jormag's corruption, there's no telling what else he could unleash with it.
Then stay close and move fast. We're not leaving without the horn.
So it looks like the horn was an artifact created by the Kodan that they gave to our ancestor Romke, who is a legendary Norn adventurer. And it looks like Varg took the horn and actually infused it with Jormag's power. So let's go ahead and clear through the Sons of Svanir here, lure out Varg, and then see if he can defeat him and reclaim our horn.
Varg, you cheated me out of my inheritance. I know your dice were loaded. Give me back my ancestor's horn.
You were stupid enough to be cheated. You were stupid enough not to know how powerful this horn is. Now you'll die because you were stupid enough to fight me.
Hand over the horn, Varg, and no one has to suffer.
No, but if you bow down before me, girl, I'll make your sacrifice to Jormag a fast one.
Then it's by force.
Let's go ahead and defeat Varg here. And I just noticed that I actually picked up a longbow from our story reward there, so we'll explore the short bow
You'll
later.
never beat me. Jormag's strength makes me invincible.
Varg says that as he is almost dead, so let's go ahead and just finish him off really quickly, and then we can reclaim our ancestor's horn.
The horn's still in one piece, but it feels strange. Like a bitter wind is blowing through it all the time.
It is Jormag's corruption, from every crevice and corner. It is no longer the horn we crafted for Romke. It has become a vessel of darkness, terrible and dangerous. My people know a way to destroy such distortion.
But in our hands, we can preserve Romke's legacy. His descendants should decide whether to keep the horn or destroy it.
It's your choice, Slayer. You can reclaim the horn and Romke's legacy.
Or you can maintain the balance by destroying this corrupted horn. Choose wisely, Southerner.
So now we have an option to either keep Romke's horn or destroy it. And while I would really like to keep Romke's horn and preserve the legacy of our ancestors and preserve what the artifact once was, the artifact is no longer what it used to be, and I think it would be the best for us to be able to permanently destroy it, get rid of an artifact that is now corrupted by Jormag's magic, and to ensure that it is no longer able to ever be used against us or against any innocent person. So let's go ahead and we say that we share the Kodan's concern. The horn is dangerous, heirloom or no, it has to be destroyed. This is what I have to do. I think Romke would understand my choice. And let's go ahead and set out on destroying the horn. And our next destination is far south of here, so let's go ahead and make our way over there. And I think I'll poke through a couple of different areas and we can explore it. Let's go ahead and talk to the 2 or 3 scouts right here and just get a full overview of the area so we can kind of understand what is going on here. And I'm probably not going to complete everything this episode that we have to do with the scouts here. We'll go ahead and do that next episode.
Since corruption spread by the Ice Brood has blocked the main road, we've had to detour traffic through this dangerous side route. The increased risk has hurt trade to and from Lion's Arch, even affecting our ability to get basic supplies. We must improve the safety of the road so that the flow of trade can be re-established.
Let's go ahead and come over here, and we can see that the Lion Guard here have a lot of issues going on, specifically with the Jotun, so we can go ahead and try to restore this trade route here, clear some detour markers, and fight some of the Jotun, and save some of the innocents here. We can see the Jotun kind of just savages that live in the hills, fallen from their previous glory several thousands of years ago. And we have a ton of refugees and traders and Lion Guard all around this area, and we have a really cool looking bridge right there that we'll probably come back to next episode. But I just love the look of that bridge, and this map actually houses a couple of really cool bridges, so we'll go ahead and take a look at them as we continue to explore this map. But that was a pretty easy and quick task to complete. Let's go ahead and grab our rewards from that, as well as our level up reward. We're now level 26 on this character. And then let's go ahead and talk to the scout that is right here as well.
Long ago, after we came south, Jormag turned on the spirits and took Owl from us. She once protected this land, nurturing all under her powerful, silent wings. Now we're all that's left to protect the land in Owl's stead. But a deathly chill is coming over Snowden Drifts, and we few cannot stop it by ourselves.
So I was kind of planning on doing this later, but there are a couple of cool things in this area, and let's go ahead and explore it. One of which is actually a lodge to the Owl Spirit of the Wild. But first, before we explore that, let's go check out a very cool area. And it is through this cave entrance here, we can come into here and we can discover King Jalus's refuge. King Jalus, for those of you who don't know, was the king of the Deldrimor dwarves during Guild Wars 1, the last king of the dwarves. And this is his refuge here, and there are a ton of looters here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this area with this vista here. And then let's go ahead and do the short jumping puzzle that is here. This is a pretty easy jumping puzzle and actually one of the fastest. With my guild, we actually did a jumping puzzle competition where we had a few select jumping puzzles, 5 specific jumping puzzles, and then one like bonus one as well. And basically we kind of raced through all the jumping puzzles and saw who was fastest after a couple weeks of practice. And the guild record for this jumping puzzle was about 20 seconds, and I actually fell and died, so let's pretend that didn't happen. As I was saying, the record for this jumping puzzle was about 20 seconds, maybe like 25 seconds, I forgot the exact time. So it's a very fast jumping puzzle, and we just finished it. But there's a little bit of extra stuff here. Let's go ahead and fight this relic hunter really quickly, and then you can go ahead and run up that ramp there and get our reward, and he almost kind of knocked us out of the area. And he was pretty easy to defeat. Now this gate is open. Let's go ahead and run up here, and we have a splendid chest, and we also got an achievement for completing this jumping puzzle. We now have 339 achievement points. Let's go ahead and talk to the scholar here, and she says, fascinating, absolutely fascinating. These ruins predate the era of King Jalus Ironhammer. So let's go ahead and leave this area now. We could talk to that scholar a little bit just to get a little bit of information about this area specifically, but overall it is kind of old, and the Priory are here just exploring it, gathering knowledge about this area. But let's go ahead and run out here. But let's go ahead and deep dive into one more area of this world before we head to the new area for our story mission, and it is Owl's Lodge here in Snowden Drifts, just down here in the southeastern corner of the map. This is a very special area because the Owl Spirit of the Wild is one of the spirits that sacrifice themselves in order to ensure the Norn's safety and security in traveling south and to hold off Jormag. And there are a ton of Sons of Svanir around here, so this should be a pretty quick and easy task to complete, but there are a couple of other things in this area that we can grab as well. So the Norn here are still following Owl's teachings and still honoring the Owl Spirit of the Wild, and also have hope that perhaps Owl is not dead and may someday return. We just discovered the point of interest for Owl's Lodge. We also completed the task, so let's go ahead and grab this reward, and then we can interact with the Devotee of Owl, a hero challenge right here. Few remain who will teach the ways of Owl, and yet her methods are extraordinary, hunting at night with ambush like swiftness and precision. It's beautiful to behold. Shall I show you? So let's go ahead and fight this Devotee of Owl here, and we can go ahead and get a hero challenge here, and we see that he actually summoned a ghostly owl. So we see a lot of shamans are able to transform into like visages of their spirit of the wild, the 4 main ones, but all the other ones, while they might exist in lore in the game, they do not, but he does summon owl spirits, which is very nice. And then let's go ahead and run over here, and we have a vista up here, but I want to check out a very kind of special area of the world, which is an area that we have really no reason to go to, and there's not much going on here, but it's like a cool little area that not many people actually know about. And this is area right here, right off the lodge, which is some sort of like camp or something. Not entirely sure exactly what this area is supposed to be, but we can kind of jump up here and we see we have a giant structure here, maybe some sort of like water tank, and we have a little camp right there. But let's go ahead and come back this way, the way we came in, and then we can go ahead and head back up on top of the lodge here, and we can go ahead and grab the vista here and see what this area looks like. And then we leveled up to level 27. Let's go ahead and get our reward here. Accept that, and then let's go ahead and walk over here, and we can go ahead and talk to the scout right here next to this waypoint, and you can kind of uncover this next area of the road. But I generally mean it now where I don't think I'm going to complete the tasks for this scout. We kind of went a little overboard and over our heads and completed a little bit of the map here.
When
Let's go ahead and see what's
Jormag
going
appeared,
on.
he drove many creatures to the south to find refuge. The voice of Koda led us here to song of final exile. We are not the only ones. The Kodan town of Urgulp is also made up of refugees from the north. It is easy for problems and conflicts to arise when dealing with this kind of transition, and there are many that could use a helping hand.
So let's go ahead and head west. We can grab this point of interest on the way and also uncover the map art here and see if there's any other quick things we can grab. But let's go ahead and head to the Song of Final Exile, which is the Kodan town that is right here in Snowden Drifts. It is home to Kodan that were driven south by Jormag and followed the words of Koda. Koda is the individual, the entity, the spirit that the Kodan basically worship and follow the teachings of. And we can go ahead and come down here where the Kodan camp is, and there's also a Quaggan village here, which next episode will start off with helping out the Quaggan village. Let's go ahead and just get this waypoint, and then I noticed a point of interest right here as well really quickly that we can grab, and then our story mission is right there. Actually, I just noticed there's a really cool event going on right here where we are dealing with a Largos.
Will accomplish nothing.
The Largos are a very mysterious and unusual race, and this is the first time that we have seen them. And they are basically an underwater race that were driven from the underwater areas of the world, from the underneath ocean to the far southwest, and they were driven by some sort of evil presence, presumably the underwater dragon that exists.
I am impressed, Kodan. You have earned your reprieve.
Bloodlust
but
is
this
no
fight
match for a
is not
spirit
over.
in symmetry.
It looks like that assassin disappeared.
Take heart. When you fall, simply get back up, like a bird learning to fly.
And we have saved the code in here, so let's go ahead and come over here. The Largos are very mysterious, and we will learn a little bit more about them, but let's be completely honest here. From where we are currently at in Guild Wars 2's story at 2022, we are not going to be learning a ton about them, but we'll learn a little bit more. So to speak to Followed by Night at the Song of Final Exile, just run up here a little bit and we can go ahead and chat and break this horn.
Koda sees that this choice was a difficult one, but he blesses you for seeing the greater wisdom in destroying the horn.
There's still a chance, Slayer. We can take the horn back to Holbrecht for safekeeping.
No, heir. We've seen what it can do. If the Sons of Svanir captured it again, we would be giving them a weapon that could kill scores of people. The horn must be broken.
Then I seek your aid, Southerners. Purifying this horn will not be easy. The energies inside are potent and will not be purged easily. Speak to me when you are prepared.
I think we're about as ready as we will be, so let's go ahead and speak with Followed by Night and begin
hear
this.
our prayers. Grant us the strength to restore the balance. Strike with your claws and help us destroy this corrupted horn. May you guide, shelter, and protect us as we do your work this day. I hear Koda's roar of triumph. Strike now, Norn. Smash the horn and be done with it. The horn's magic is failing, but I can sense it preparing to defend itself. Stand ready.
So it looks like the horn is defending itself by summoning a bunch of iceberg elementals, and I have a feeling that some ice imps and perhaps a very strong enemy is going to come through this horn. So let's go ahead and deal with all these elementals and continue destroying this horn.
Hear our prayers, Koda. This object threatens the balance. Give us the wisdom to destroy it before it can destroy us. Norn, strike the horn again. Grind it to dust. The horn weakens. Do not falter.
We have a ton of iceberg colossus coming in here from the northeast. They are grouped up right now, so we're able to deal a ton of damage to them with all our AoE abilities. Let's go ahead and dodge out of that and put down some of our traps here.
Koda, today we make a stand to defend the balance. May your mighty jaws clench down upon our foes. Now is the time, Norn. Finish the deed. Destroy the horn in Koda's name. The horn is desperate. Stand fast and we shall finish it.
There are more iceberg elementals that have been summoned by the horn, they should be pretty easy to deal with. We have a ton of good allies here with the Kodan as well as Erstegalken. Some iceberg Goliaths coming in as well, but most of the elementals are already dead. So I just noticed our maw attack has a 4-second cooldown, which is insane. I feel like that was buffed recently. Let's go ahead and continue dealing a ton of damage to all the enemies around here.
Destroy the horn and end this. Now finish it.
Now we can finish the horn. Wow. So it looks like in the horn's final act of defense, it turned all the Kodan around here to iceberg Kodan, and now we have to put them down. Fortunately for us, at least, Followed by Night was spared from that.
I wish we could have saved the horn. Perhaps you made the right choice, Slayer.
The Kodan were right. The horn was corrupted and too dangerous to keep. I can always honor my ancestors in other ways. Their legacy lives on in me.
Be warned, Slayer. Memory has its own weight, and without warning you can become crushed under it, like an avalanche.
Enough about the past. Garm and I need to tell Fastolf that the danger has passed. I'm sure we will meet again soon. May the spirits guide your path, Slayer.
You as well, Heir. Safe travels.
So we have completed this story mission, and with that we have completed this story chapter, and we're now level 28. Let's go ahead and pick our reward. We have a letter in our mail here, an introduction. We have read this already. Let's go ahead and head back out into Snowdin Drifts. And I will go ahead and call this episode good here. I really enjoyed playing through the story as well as exploring the little bit of Snowdin Drifts that we did, and I hope you all enjoyed playing through it with me and watching this episode. And I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the world of Terria. Goodbye.